boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And hey, I said we're gonna go live at 7 o'clock. There was a change of plans, so I'm coming in super early. But we're gonna have a real good time in the liquor store, man. We're gonna get drunk with the Dallas Cowboys content together, man. And we're gonna talk about them damn Cowboys and everything going on around the offseason, man. So I need everybody on their way into the liquor store to go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button. And if you ain't already joined the channel, I need you to hit the subscribe button as well, man. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers right now, and we're sitting at 771. So over these past couple of months, y'all have definitely helped me and this channel grow. I appreciate y'all for all y'all do. And, just keep doing what y'all doing, man. Continue to like the content, continue to share the content. And, tell a friend or tell a foe, man. Hit that subscribe button so the channel can keep growing. We can get monetized. And once we monetize, we can invest back into the platform and get to continue to grow. And I continue to bring y'all that quality Cowboy content, man. And hey, if I sound a little congested, a little stopped up, I am under the weather today. But we're gonna push through. Liquor store open, rain, sleet, or snow. So it is what it is. Also, hey, what's up with you, Justin Kitchen? I see you, my boy. Thank you for tapping into the liquor store and showing love to the channel, my guy. I really appreciate you. So, hey, man, we're gonna talk about some off-season news, some rumors. There's some stuff going on with the scheduling that is very interesting. There were some comments made about one of our newer wide receivers by a former NFL quarterback that's very encouraging. And there's some things that the Dallas Cowboys did not do that really tell you how they really feel about the current state of the roster, man. So we're going to jump into all of that, man. But first, this is the Raffle update. I'm running 2 raffles right now. There's one on the 9th and there's one on the 31st. So there's 2 more days. You got today and tomorrow to send in for the raffle on the 9th. And then we'll have the actual raffle show on the 10th. So, you have today and tomorrow to get your raffle entries in if you want to participate on the raffle on the 9th. And remember, there's still 2 going on. So if you send $5, you will get an entry for both of them. You'll get an entry for the one on the 9th, and you will also get an entry on the one on the 31st. And the winner of each raffle will receive a Dallas Cowboy jersey of their choosing. So if you want to support the channel, you want to continue to see it grow, and you want to get yourself a chance to win the Dallas Cowboy jerseys, Just send $5 to $ Henny the Moore. You might see it floating at the banner at the bottom. So you send $5 to that Cash App, you will receive 2 raffle entries right now. And go ahead and double your chances of winning Dallas Cowboy jersey. And real quick, just to let everybody know where they stand in the raffle. Right? Because I need to keep y'all updated on what's going on, how y'all doing, who have the best odds, this, that, and the third. So for the raffle on the 9th, so for the raffle that's going to end tomorrow, right now, the person with the best odds of winning that Dallas Cowboy jersey is Dwayne Brown. Dwayne Brown has 24 entries. Hey, shout out to Regina Green. Regina Green, you have the second best odds of winning the Dallas Cowboy jersey. You have 20 entries. All right, so I'm just going to go down the line. Michael McQuay has 8. Action Pal 2. DC4 Life Texas has 16. Marquetta has 11. Daisy Clark has 3. Michael Lockhart has 4. Desmond has 1. Tupac with a Mohawk has 2. The Lunatic has 3. Antonio Cove 14. Texas T 1. Antonio Cove 14. It's Too Easy has 8. Jeffrey has 2. JC Cowboys Network has 3. Taiwan has 3. Klebo has 2. Michael Autry coming through with the Volcanoes has 10. Donald Holmes 13. The Original People 2. Khalil Parson 1. Starter Kick Duke 4. King G got 2. Keystone has 4. Corey Williams 3. Regina Green 20. Louis Winslow 1. Freight Train 6. Coach Moore 1. David Sorrells 2. Cowboys Fan 95 3. S.A. Richburg 10. Stephen Harrison 4. DJ has 1. Mickey has 9. Donald Ryder 2. Justin Kitchen, you have 4 for this raffle. Stephen Jones, you have 2. Tyler Sloan 1. Sharon Hill 1. Neil has 4. Christopher Bolts has 2, and Salter has 2. So that is the update on the jersey raffle for the night. Of course, there is still one going on for the 31st, but the one for the night ends tomorrow. right? So you have the rest of the day, you have tomorrow to get your entries in for that raffle. If you want to improve your odds, send $5 to $ Henny or more. But I appreciate everybody that's been showing love, supporting the raffle. And we will announce the winner on the 10th. So you have today and tomorrow to get your entries in. So now that we got the update out the way, now everybody know where they stand. They know their chances of winning the jersey. We're gonna move on to the actual content, man, because that's what we're here for. So I'm actually going to start with something that caught my eye in terms of the scheduling. We all know, well, we may not all know. So let me just inform y'all. What's up with you, Michael Lockhart? So, hey, we just did the update for the raffle that ends tomorrow. And if you didn't hear how many you had, Michael, you have. Let me go to it. You have 4 entries for this raffle, Michael Lockhart. So you want to improve your odds of winning a Dallas Cowboy jersey? You got today and tomorrow to get entries in, at least for this one. All right. So if y'all did not know, though, the NFL is announcing the schedule, the upcoming schedule on Thursday at noon. We will all know what the hell the Dallas Cowboys schedule is actually going to look like this year. And this is reported by Adam Schefter. But there are several things, that are different this year that we need to talk about because it really affects the way that the schedule is going to fall for the Dallas Cowboys. Right? You remember, because we have so many primetime games, you know how things usually fall. We usually play on Thanksgiving. We usually play, on Christmas Eve and different things like that because we're a big draw. There was a point in time we played 3 games in a 12-day stretch. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the schedule is never kind to the Dallas Cowboys. It's never kind to the Dallas Cowboys. So, with these updates and these changes to the way that things are going to be scheduled out this year, it raises a lot of questions. So, let's start with one of them right here. The first one at the top. The NFL will have a Black Friday game for the first time ever, right? So now there's a possibility, instead of the Dallas Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving, even though it's a tradition, they might be a team that's featured on Black Friday, you know what I'm saying? And that would give us even a shorter week. Because remember, just because we play on Thanksgiving Sunday, we usually end up playing again that following Thursday, right? That would happen this year. We played two Thursday games. So, that's usually not a thing that happens for other teams, but that can happen with the Cowboys. So let's say we have a Black Friday game. It's a possibility that we could play on Black Friday, then backdoor and play on Thursday, right? So that'd be even less time for the Dallas Cowboys to rest if that were to be the luck of our draw, right? I'm not saying that's necessarily what is going to happen, but we always get the short end of the stick. There's a lot of things that come with being a Dallas Cowboys fan. You get a lot of fans that show up to away games, right? That's one of the pluses. We don't really have a lot of true away games because we go out, we have a great road presence. But one of the issues with having this size of a fan base, we always are on the primetime games. We always play on the holidays. We're always the team that gets pigeonholed into playing on short weeks. So, if there's a cash grab, if there's a game, that they want to initiate, to try to get some ratings, some clicks, some views, oftentimes the Dallas Cowboys are going to be involved, man. Exactly. Richard Berry said it best. He said, I'd rather just keep the Thanksgiving game. I would too. So Over said, why is that? The reason being, if you want to sell a game, if you want to sell a matchup, a time slot, you put your most popular teams in that time slot. The Dallas Cowboys are, the most valued team in North America, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely the most valued team in the National Football League by a long shot. Most popular team in the National Football League by a long shot. So, there's a ton of fans that love us. They're going to watch those games. There's a ton of fans that hate us that are going to watch those games. When you look at the algorithm, you look at viewership and things like that, they don't differentiate. So there's a lot of people that love the Cowboys and hate the Cowboys, and they're gonna be watching them to see if they fail or win. So when you have these new games they trying to push, you have these primetime games they're trying to push. That's why the Dallas Cowboys are always top billing. It works out, because a lot of teams can't watch their team every week. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of teams that don't get a lot of primetime games, and you don't ever see them on TV, right? You never had an issue with the Dallas Cowboys. They're usually always in a primetime game. They're usually always America's game of the week, this, that, and the third. So, yes, you get a chance to watch them all the time, but the downside of it is when these new things they want to experiment with come out, we're usually the guy they want to push into those slots. Now because we have traditionally played on Thanksgiving for so long, they may not mess with it, right? We may be lucky this time around. But, there's always a chance that Dallas Cowboys name could end up in their hat. All right, so that's the first part. There's a Black Friday game now, so something crazy could happen. Here's the next part. Games don't necessarily belong to networks anymore. All games are free agents. So what does that really mean, in terms of us? Well, that means you actually have a better chance of seeing all the Dallas Cowboys games. If that is the case, because they could air on any particular network now. They could show it on ESPN if they wanted to. They could show it on ABC, NBC, whatever. Right? There's no game that is contractually obligated to be played on this network, that network. NFL can show it on whatever network they want that they feel is beneficial. So in terms of actually viewing your Dallas Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? Like that's cool. I don't really have anything to say about that because it doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you have all kinds of ways of viewing the Dallas Cowboys, so it's not going to be an issue either way. Hoodlum, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you tapping in and showing love. And hey, since this stuff is coming out, the schedule will be announced on Thursday when we do our regular afternoon show. You know what I'm saying? When we do our regular afternoon show on Thursday, we're going to react to the Dallas Cowboys schedule. We're going to just react to it, see how we feel about how it lines up. We're going to do a way too early projection, win-loss, shit like that. But it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. So I'll make sure that I'm here a little bit early Thursday afternoon so that when it's announced, we can have proper time to react to it. I'm pretty sure West Coast and Landlord will be on with me on Thursday. So, we'll get everybody reaction to it, how we all feel about it. And, we'll just go from there. Also, because they are going to be announcing... Oh, hold on. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. But since they will be announcing the Dallas Cowboys schedule, I want to also point out if these raffles continue to go well, we will be raffling off a Dallas Cowboys home ticket next month. So as long as the raffles are supported, as long as the raffles, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the bless yous in the chat. Justin Kitchen, so over it. Sugar Daddy 1, I appreciate y'all. So hey, so what I was saying, so just to remind y'all, we will be raffling off a Dallas Cowboy ticket. We'll raffle off a ticket to a home game next month, so we will know, what the schedule is going to look like on Thursday. And as long as the raffles this month end well, we will do the raffle for the ticket, to start next month. So, continue to support the raffles, continue to support the content, and we're going to try to send one of y'all to a Dallas Cowboys home game. So, salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel, and we rocking just like that, man. Also, we'll do a poll. We'll do a poll for which home game y'all want to go to. But, that's going to be the thing. That's going to be the lick. Oh, it said a Henny. I saw it on Twitter announcing it on 8 p.m. on Thursday night. Jesus. Well, if that's the case, then I ain't gotta even take a long lunch break. As a big Eagles fan, attending a Cowboys game is a life goal, so I can see a team that actually beats opponents with above average quarterbacks. So over, I appreciate you, Henny. Always having fun, informative, just a great show. One of the best content creators. Cowboy. Hey, I appreciate that. So over, I appreciate all y'all for showing love and support, to the channel, man. Like, hey, I really do this for y'all, man. Like, y'all the reason I keep pushing and doing what I do, man. So I appreciate y'all. So just back to in terms of the content, in terms of the scheduling, right? Since that is the case, if they're gonna announce it at night, then I'll just do a whole show then. But here's the kicker: this is something that has already happened to the Dallas Cowboys because we already are pigeonholed into playing, playing on Thanksgiving. Now every team. He said, "Is sarcasm that hard to pick up?" Yep, sometimes. No, it's depending on the media that the sarcasm is trying to be conveyed through. It's easier to hear the sarcasm in the tone of a person than it is to actually read it. And y'all don't really and listen, Eagles fans don't really beat great 500 quarterbacks either, because y'all show be getting your ass towed up by Dak Prescott. Hey, I appreciate it, Q-Ball. So now every team in the NFL can have multiple Thursday night football games. It's something that happens to the Dallas Cowboys often because we play on Thanksgiving already. So it happens. It already happens for us. But now it's down there a guarantee the Dallas Cowboys will have 2 Thursday night games. Right, we already know for a fact we usually gonna be penciled in on Thanksgiving. Now we then know for a fact we'll probably have another one somewhere down the line. We're gonna have another one. So, like I said, when it comes to the schedule, we always get the short end of the stick in regards to that. In regards to that, we always get the short end of the stick. So do I expect Dallas Cowboys to have 2 Thursday night games? 9 times out of 10, I believe so, man. I do. When you're trying to sell a product, you like to slap the biggest brand you can on it. And nothing sells quite like that Dallas Cowboys star, like this one right here. Nothing quite sells like this star right here, man. So, like I said, don't be surprised if your ass end up, with an extra Thursday night game, and your ass also end up with a Black Friday game. Hey, shout out to Neil for the $10 donation, man. Since we're doing a 2-for-1 still, they got you 2 additional entries for the raffles. They got you 2 more entries for the raffle on the night, and they got you 2 more entries for the raffle on the 31st. So salute to y'all, man. Just showing love. What's up, Henny? In honor of the Emmett, I slapped 22 Eagles fans before stopping in. But hey, I know your hand is sore as hell, so salute to you, man. Hey, my boy hand was still sore. He still found the power to hit that cash app, man. So I appreciate you for doing that, my boy. It said Richard Berry said, "Hey, we sell tickets." Facts. We sell tickets. We put butts in seats. We put eyes on televisions, man. So if you want to sell some shit, you put the Dallas Cowboys store on it, man. And listen, we a powerful ass brand. But remember when COVID was going on, right? That disease that will not be mentioned again. We were one of the only fan bases that could go to our home games. You know what I'm saying? Like we really were must watch TV before Dak Prescott got injured, right? We were in shootouts. We had many people as humanly possible in the stadiums. You know what I'm saying? Like we really helped kickstart the NFL or coming back to life, man. So you know how it is with Dallas Cowboys and the power this fan base brings, man. I wish they would slap that 3-game in 12 days to the Eagles. But hey, that sounds like they really should, right? They swear up and down they're the better team. They were the team. They're the team that just went to the Super Bowl, right? Even though they lost, were on the losing end of one of the biggest Super Bowl comebacks in NFL history, right? They joined the Atlanta Falcons as being one of only 2 teams to lose the Super Bowl after having a double-digit halftime lead. So, let the shitbergs, go in there and play 3 games in 12 days. Let them play, a Sunday game, then backdoor and play on Thanksgiving, then backdoor and do this and do that. So whatever. Let them have it. Say they could be America's team once that happens. And hey, remember, like even when you're playing a bad team, when you talk about being fresh, like football is the most physically taxing sport there is. And you really need those all the days you can to recover. These guys are experiencing the equivalent to many car crashes every time they collide with another grown man running at 20, 25 miles per hour, just smack into another grown ass man. So, the fact that we even won as many games as we did in that 12 game stretch, because we won 2 of those 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we won 2 of those 3 games. So with that said, man, you just gotta account for that. So if we end up with that again, right? No matter who the teams are, then the Eagles do that too. I don't think they did, because remember we played Christmas Eve. But we played Sunday night, then we played Christmas Eve, then we played the Thursday night game. The Eagles didn't do that, I don't believe. I know for a fact we did, but I'm not sure that the Eagles did. But we played Sunday primetime game of the week against Jacksonville. Then we backdoor and we played the Philadelphia Eagles on Christmas Eve. And then the following week we played the Titans on Thursday. So we played 3 games in a 12-game stretch. So, it was very taxing for our players. So that's one thing I do want to say, though. Regardless of who the teams are we played, regardless of the records, it's going to be tough to ask our team to go out there and dominate playing 3 games in a 12-game stretch. Oh yeah. They did the double-digit loss after the halftime Super Bowl. Yeah, them and the Falcons are the only 2 teams in NFL history to lose the Super Bowl after being up 10 points or more at halftime. They're the only 2 teams to choke like that. So they had a historic choke, but they run around on the internet beating their chest, like they got Super Bowl, like they got a Super Bowl ring to show for it, man. And that's why we say over here they like celebrating participation trophies. Because they never win. They the ugly girl that don't even go to the dance. They just be on the wall standing. Nobody want to touch them. Nobody want to look at them. So, shout out to the Eagles, though. Because, if they won in our division, it might be tougher. But I can damn near guarantee 2 wins. Like, when I see our division opponents, I just be counting 2 wins off top. So, I always start with us sweeping the division and then adding on who I think will beat them. So, when I look at the Eagles, the Giants, the Condoms, what I'm saying? Like, I always just count 6 wins, and then I go from there. So, even if we, split the other games, I always think we'll win about 11 to 12 games. And we always do win about 11 to 12 games every season. Because our division is horrible. They don't think so, but they're horrible. What's up with you, Jameson Taylor? I thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, my guy. I hope you're feeling okay too, man. I know you be going through dialysis and stuff, man. So I pray everything going well for you, my brother. And you always are in my prayers. And this last one, right? Something that we're not have to worry about. It says not all teams are guaranteed to have a primetime spot, and good. That's beautiful. That is great. Nobody wants to see the damn, 1 in 12 Houston Texans play the 3 and whatever Colts or some shit. Like, if you're not good enough to compete, if you're not a good enough team, you're not a playoff team, I don't want to see you in prime time. You know what I'm saying? Like, your own fans, like their fans don't even show up to the game when they're losing like that. So why would you subject us, the rest of America, to watching these horrible ass teams play football? So I am happy that that these putrid horrible teams are no longer guaranteed to have a primetime spot. I don't want to watch, you know, the Browns. So I don't want to watch the Browns and the Cardinals, and they both got losing records on Sunday Night Football. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to watch that. Nobody wants to watch that shit. Nobody. So you're a putrid team. Like, I'm glad that they're no longer shoehorning these guys into being must-watch TV anymore, man. I'm so happy about that. God is good. That's how you know God is real and God is a Cowboys fan. For a fact we will be good enough to have primetime games, and for a fact, we're not gonna miss anything. So salute. So hey, like I said, God is good. So now that we got that out of the way, right? We talked about the scheduling. We talked about some of the possibilities of things happening. Let's move on to the next thing. Hey, shout out to Etta Lockhart. I see you. Shout out to Yvette Salter, Q Ball. Appreciate all y'all for coming to the liquor store and showing love. And y'all, please remember, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will receive half off all the items in the liquor store. So please use the discount while supplies last, man. So, hey, here's the next thing. So this is something more of projections, but this is something I thought was pretty cool. A stamp of approval from a Hall of Fame quarterback for one of your young wide receivers. So this is a quote from Peyton Manning himself, the sheriff, one of the original gunslingers, first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, multiple time MVP, a guy that really statistically for the first part of that season, you can actually make a comparison between him and Dak Prescott. But I'm not going to go that far into it because I have a lot of people in my inbox or on the timeline trying to talk crazy. So we're just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna talk about what Peyton Manning said. So Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning had high praise for Cowboys receiver Jalen Tolbert. He said he's the perfect receiver. He has speed, hands, incredible route running, can find a soft spot in the zone. He's the type of player that's a quarterback's best friend. And then they had a question mark, breakout year incoming. So this is what Peyton Manning thinks about Jalen Tolbert. And I actually wanted to post this up here because I'm going to tie this into something else. Because these are two train of thoughts, but they go hand in hand together. He thinks the world of Jalen Tolbert. I also think the world of Jalen Tolbert. And from the actions that the Dallas Cowboys have taken, they must also believe in Jalen Tolbert. I'm going to tell you why. Because there's lip service and then there's actions. And actions will always speak louder than words. You know what I'm saying? This is like somebody, if they really love you, if somebody really loves you, they will show it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be there for you. They'll keep in contact with you. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll buy you a car or something. Like they'll buy you a Jeep. They'll I looked at my wife and said that. So y'all wondering. So their actions will speak louder than words. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell somebody really, really rock with you. Well, the Dallas Cowboys actions showed that they rock with Jalen Tolbert. And it's not necessarily what they did, it's what they did not do. In the draft, the Dallas Cowboys did not, assess the wide receiver position until the 7th round. They did not bring in a wide receiver until the 7th round, and they had ample opportunity to draft another wide receiver. Josh Downs was on the board at one point. Tank Dell was on the board, right? I put out film on Tolbert today too. It's a photo of a yellow flag. Okay, I like that. She said she's gonna take your liquor license. Hey, she just might, man. She just might. But no, so like the Dallas Cowboys had opportunities to get great wide receivers. I personally thought that Tank Dell, despite this, that, and the third, was one of the better wide receivers, in the draft. You know what I'm saying? They had a chance to get Marvin Mills. They had a chance to get Josh Downs. They had a chance to get this person and that person. And the Dallas Cowboys stayed pat. They showed what they chose, and then they backed. And they didn't really think about wide receiver until the 7th round when we got the Brooks kid out of South Carolina. So actions speak louder than words. If the Dallas Cowboys thought that they needed another wide receiver, if they didn't think they had the adequate weapons, they would have addressed it. The Dallas Cowboys were not really high on Michael Gallup being their number 2 wide receiver, right? And so what did they do? They went out there and they traded away a 5th-round pick to get the services of Brandon Cooks, who had been, for the most part, a number 1 wide receiver his entire career. So the Dallas Cowboys, don't mind bringing in guys who they think are better. They let Noah Brown walk, and then they got Brandon Cooks, who is a better wide receiver than Michael Gallup. So instead of trying to go out and improve the wide receiver 4 position, right? They're going to have open competition probably between Jalen Tolbert and Michael Gallup. Jalen Tolbert will have the opportunities to get snaps on the field in the 4 wide snaps. He'll get opportunities to play in a very wide receiver and quarterback friendly system where he doesn't have to learn option routes. He doesn't have to run a bunch of stop routes. All you got to do, if he can run a slant, he can run an over. If he can run a post, he can play in the West Coast style offense. He can run a drag. He can play in the West Coast style offense. So I think Jalen Tolbert is going to have a breakout season just based on the system, based on Dak Prescott being completely healthy, based on him having another offseason, working with Dak Prescott, another offseason, getting stronger, fine-tuning his craft. So the sky is the limit. The landlord from Wakanda said, bro, if Tolbert hits that, will be an all-time great draft. He probably won't, and that's okay. Well, this is the thing. Jalen Tolbert, was a 3rd-round pick. Jalen Tolbert, really, when you look at 3rd-round pick wide receivers, they're guys like Michael Gallup. They're guys like this person, that person. He's going to have opportunity, and what people don't realize, he's 6'2" and runs a 4.4. So he has a pretty nice catch radius. He has run after catch ability. He has deep play ability. We just haven't seen it yet. And to be fair to Jalen Tolbert, right? Because I don't need him to necessarily be my number 1 wide receiver. I just need him to eventually be my number 3. He may be able to take over the number 3 spot this year if he puts in the work. We all know Michael Gallup's injury history. He has not been healthy the past 2 seasons. So, he only caught I think like 2 balls on 3 targets, some shit like that. So he didn't really have a lot of opportunities to even make plays for the Dallas Cowboys. So, I'm not asking for a lot from Jalen Tolbert. I think 500 yards from Jalen Tolbert or 400 yards from Jalen Tolbert will be perfect. As a 3 or a 4, getting 400 or 300 or 500 yards and a couple of touchdowns is a perfect stepping stone in his development. It's the perfect stepping stone in his development to go from giving me nothing to being a key contributor to my offense. That's more than I can ever ask for. So it's just about setting proper expectations for your personnel, for your players' personnel. My expectation is not for Jalen Tolbert to have a 1,000-yard season. It's really not for him to have a 900, 800, or 700-yard season. But if he can give me anywhere between 400 and 500 yards, maybe 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, I can live with that production because I don't really need a lot from him because I got CeeDee Lamb for the heavy lifting. I got Brandon Cooks to be Batman, right? If he's Superman, he could be Batman. I got Michael Gallup to be my 3rd wide receiver. So, I have the adequate players in front of him to where anything that he gives me is a plus. So, along with putting him in advantageous situations where he can run with the ball after catch, where he maybe gets a pick and can get into open field, on a rub route or something like that. Maybe throw a screen to him, just different things to get the ball into his hand, give him some confidence, give him some easy plays. I would like that for Jalen Tolbert because he has game speed. He has game speed, and he also had combine speed. So he has a little bit of everything that you're looking for. I think he just need the opportunity to showcase that. And judging by the actions of the Dallas Cowboys, they also believe that he can take the next step in his development maybe this year of actually being a contributor to the offense. Because if they didn't feel that way, they could have got Tank Dell. If they didn't feel that way, they could have got Josh Downs or any of the other wide receivers that people really like. Right? So the action of the Dallas Cowboys say they believe in him. Peyton Manning out his own mouth said he believes in him. HTM Sports out of his mouth right here believes in Jalen Tolbert. So that's what I had for that. That is really what I had for that. But I'm going to also talk about that same mindset. I want to also apply that to the offensive line, if you will. If you take time to go with me down the rabbit hole, you know, and you just consider this another liquor store run. But let's go down the rabbit hole with that train of thought and that thinking. Because if they wanted to address a skill position, they could have did so. Right? We already just spoke on if they didn't believe in the wide receiving core, there were wide receivers on the board they could have taken. I'm also now going to apply that to the position of the offensive line. On the offensive line, if the Dallas Cowboys felt that they, needed to get an offensive lineman, they had ample opportunity to do so. Do I really, trust that? That's yet to be seen. But let's just look at how things played out. The Dallas Cowboys could have got an offensive lineman with their first pick. They got Mozzie Smith, which is definitely a need because we need a run stopper, right? The Dallas Cowboys could have gotten an offensive lineman with their second pick, right? Osiris Torrance was still on the board, who I had a first round grade on, who I thought was the best interior lineman in this year's draft. And instead, they chose a tight end. Even going further down, Mafi was on the board in the fourth round, who they could have gotten. They chose to get Fihoko, right? So there was plenty of opportunities, ample chances for the Dallas Cowboys to get an offensive lineman to add up front. So their inaction tells you a couple of things. It tells you, really, maybe foolhardy or not, the Dallas Cowboys believe that they have the offensive line in place to compete right now. And my mindset with that is this. That is only true if the Dallas Cowboys are still viewing they're still viewing Tyler Smith as their left guard. And I think I might have said this earlier on my show with Landlord. But if you just think about it, if your best you just want to put your best five out there, it's the obvious combinations are Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele. Those are undoubtedly right. There's not even an argument that those are your best five offensive linemen that you have on the roster. Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele. Now, if the Dallas Cowboys are viewing Tyler Smith as the left guard, that makes perfect sense. Because Tyler Smith right now, right, with a year of experience on his belt, this being his second offseason with Big Dude, this being his second offseason in the NFL program, him already having, playoff snaps and having multiple snaps at left guard and left tackle, being a left side player, he is right now better suited to play left guard than anybody else you would have drafted right now. He would have been a better left guard than Steve Avila. He would have been a better left guard than Osiris Torrance. He would be a better left guard than anybody you can name in this draft coming out right now, week one. He already had the experience. He already has the snaps. He already has, the added strength from the offseason programs. He has the repetition. He has, he has played, alongside these other offensive linemen. So he, if you want to look at it from that standpoint, from that mind frame, I understand it sort of. You know what I mean? I understand it from that mindset. Because I think Tyler Smith right now is a better left guard than any of these guys, just based on those facts. They're based on those factors. So with that said, you sort of feel what the Dallas Cowboys did. No, I still would not have taken a damn tight end with the second round pick. But I do understand why they did not take an offensive lineman. Because if that's the way you're viewing your line, you'll be drafting an offensive lineman for depth at that point with your second overall pick. It will just be a depth signing. Because I don't think year one there's any way that any of these guards would have beat out Tyler Smith if he is your left guard. And you've seen what he did, right? You've seen how he mauled guys when they let Jason Peters play left tackle. You saw the athleticism. You saw his ability to get to the second level in the run game. You saw him pancaking guys. You saw him sticking his nose in other people's business, right? So you saw a lot of good things from him, despite the fact that he played very limited snaps at left guard last year. But when he did play left guard, he looked damn good doing it. He moved very well. He was not a liability in pass protection. He didn't get a lot of penalties, right? So Tyler Smith, in the limited snaps at left guard that he did play was good, right? And we all know, and we all saw what he did as a left tackle. So with that said, I sort of get it. Now, you could have made the argument of maybe getting a left tackle, right? But by the time the Dallas Cowboys pick, most of those guys, were not available. You know what I'm saying? Most of these premier left tackles were off of the board. And that will still be a depth signing if you expect Tyron Smith to stay healthy. You just restructured his deal. You're going to allow him to play. You have incentivized him to play by, putting X amount of dollars tied to X amount of games played. So I think Tyron Smith is going to try and play more games this season because he'll make more money doing so. A lot of things happen when money is tied to shit. You start feeling a little bit healthier. You know what I'm saying? You start playing a little bit harder. That's why guys always have these amazing seasons before, when it's contract time. A lot of the guys playing to put food on the table. So I think Tyron Smith, with his contract being incentivized to play, I expect him to play double-digit games this season. I expect him to play double-digit games this season. I also expect him to play all the playoff games. That may just be me trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Optimistic. But he said when will still be available. It really depends on how much you believe the Dallas Cowboys. They're saying that he should be ready by week 1. Do I honestly believe that? I'm not sure. Do I really believe he'll be ready week 1? I'm not sure. Are they saying that he might be ready by week 1? They are. So we just have to see. The closer and closer that it gets to the actual time for guys to suit up and for the rubber to meet the road, and for them to actually have to announce who's going to play, this, that, and third, and when they actually have to be transparent, then, we'll get a better picture of how he actually healing up, how they actually feel about the prospects of him playing week 1, this, that, and the third. But right now, when they ain't got to put nobody on the injury report, when it's, when organized training camp and shit ain't really started, they ain't went to Oxnard yet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't out scheduled yet. What we're waiting on. So they're going to play all that close to the vest. So we really won't have a clear picture on who's really healthy and who can play, do this and that until it's closer to time. But right now, they're claiming that he should be ready to go by week 1. But, like I just got through saying, actions speak louder than words. When it's getting closer to time for play and he's not on the injury report, then we know. If they got to scribble his name down on the injury report, we know that he's still rehabbing, that he might not be as close as they say. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah. But, with that said, I do think the Dallas Cowboys, if they're smart about it, they might can get away with not drafting an offensive lineman. They might can get away with not drafting an offensive lineman. Because remember, for y'all who late coming into the show, into the liquor store, if Tyron Smith is your left tackle, none of these rookies going to play over him. If Tyler Smith is your left guard, None of these guys are going to play over him. This wasn't really a great center class, so I didn't really expect any of these centers to play over Biotis. Right? There's no way in hell that any right guard is going to play over Zach Martin, because Zach Martin is still making all-pro teams. And then with Terrence Steele, nah, if he's healthy, he plays. So realistically, right? And listen, I always call the Dallas Cowboys out when they do stupid things. It was stupid to take a tight end in the second round. There's no way to get around it, right? There's no way to get around it. But if we're talking about, was it really a bad thing they didn't take an offensive lineman? It's up to interpretation. If they do the right thing like Spike Lee, maybe not. Right? They do the right thing like Spike Lee, maybe not. Maybe you get through this unscathed. But they go out here, right? But there's a caveat, right? If they go out here and try to play musical chairs with the offensive line, if they're trying to play Tyron Smith at right tackle, if they're trying to play Terrence Steele at a guard, right? If they're not playing these five guys at their best positions, then they should have just went and drafted somebody. If they don't play these guys at their best position, they should just went and drafted somebody. So that's the caveat. So yeah, man. I just want to get that out there real quick. I'm gonna try and do a show a little bit later on. I just wanted to come home real quick, do a little bit of content for y'all. I gotta go pick my grandson up from his field trip. They should be back pretty soon, so I'm gonna go sit up here and wait for him. So remember, y'all, raffles are still ongoing. If you want to enter, send $5 to $Henny the more. You know, the raffle on the night. They got today and tomorrow to send for that one. So today and tomorrow, you still got a 2-for-1. If you send $5 today and tomorrow, you'll get 2 entries. You'll get an entry for the raffle on the night, and you'll get an entry for the raffle on the 31st. But you know, you're running out of time for the one on the night, but the one on the 31st is still going to be in full effect until then. So you want to enter, you want to support the channel. And hell, you just want to get you a chance to get a fly ass Dallas Cowboy jersey, you know, to hit the cash app. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love. Stephen White, appreciate you for tapping in on the way out. I just need everybody to hit that like button, that share button. And if you know somebody that likes Dallas Cowboys content, or if you know somebody, you know, that doesn't, you know, they're haters. They want to come into the chat box and troll. Hell, tell their ass to subscribe too. Algorithm don't know the difference. If they don't know the difference, if they a hater, you know, they still a sub. If they love us, it's still a sub. You know what I'm talking about? So, hey, I appreciate y'all for the love and support. Hit the like button, share button, hit the cash app with the subscribe button. And I always tell y'all to drink and drive responsibly, my guys. But you see an Eagles fan in the middle of the road, you have my permission to run that goofy ass over. You already know what it is, man. Much love. God bless. And I'll get at y'all